There's a message that I'm receiving right now, and it's basically to not minimize what the Lord has brought you through. I watched the Word today, and my Pastor Darius Daniels, I was able to recognize that a lot of us are in new seasons that we have to be aware of and walking it properly, because you cannot steward the walk well if you do not know exactly where you are positioned to know what you are called to do. So it's like your season 3 will not look like season 15, but don't get it confused, because that season 3 is what you've already overcome. It's the things that were trying to hold you back. It's the things that you had nightmares about. It's the things that were trying to dismantle the strength and dismantle the trust, the love, the purity in you that God has placed within you. But because he's taken you out of chapter 2, because he's moved you, because he's placed you in a new crew, because he's placed you in a new home, because he's placed you with new community, he has now placed you in a position so now that you have excelled to chapter 15. So now that you know that you are in chapter 15, don't let chapter 3 try to come back in and dismantle the things that you worked so hard to maintain, work so hard to be a part of, So you just have to accept what the Lord is giving to you, but don't minimize his blessings. Don't minimize his grace. Don't minimize his wisdom, assuming it to be it's just, oh, this is casual. Oh, he does this. Or, oh, like, this is okay. Like, don't minimize what he's doing for you, because if you minimize what he's doing for you, you won't be able to see what he's trying to transform your life into, because you don't see it as what it is. Everyone does not have certain gifts. And it's like, if you minimize the things that he's already given you, you don't take it as serious as it is, not knowing that this gift could change your life. You think this gift is just natural, it's just casual, it's just something that you just do. But in reality, this is something that you were called to, because when you're called to it, this will be the uproot, this will be the transformation, this will be the livelihood that you now engage in, because the Lord has planted this seed for you in your life. All you needed was faith the size of a mustard seed. That faith can move mountains. So put yourself in a position to move that mountain. And by moving that mountain, you grow in obedience. You listen to what he's calling you to. Once you grow with the fervent ear to hear, you can move how he's calling you to. So don't minimize his call. Don't minimize his blessing. Don't minimize the fruit that you have. If you wake up and you realize, like, everyone has a gift that they were assigned to, but everyone's lives is not the way that it's meant to be, because they do not fruitfully walk in their gift. Lives are dismantled, lives are destructed because you do not walk as who you are, but you like, oh, and I've been a victim of this myself. But if you do not faithfully walk as who you are, you will experience things that will be outside of your call, when in reality, if you were walking in your purpose, this would have never happened to you. You would have never experienced that, because sometimes walking in your purpose can identify and reveal to you who you naturally are in Christ, so you don't have to question anything anymore. So you don't have to question your position, so you don't have to question these steps, so you don't have to question what this is, so your discernment is now intact, so your awareness of that place or these people is now in a position so you know you can hear, you can see, you can feel, you can think clearly, because the Lord has put something in you that you now are willingly activating and willingly walking in. Sometimes that stillness is what is preventing you. That stillness in your gift is why your life hasn't transformed how you wanted to. It's why your life hasn't gone across the magnificent shift as if you would have expected, because you're not walking how you should have. Obedience is so much more important than you realize. Because you think, oh, I have forgiveness, I have mercy, but at the same time, don't do things in vain knowing that you have forgiveness, and then the time comes when you don't know when it could be your last time. Walk with the gift he gave you. Don't minimize the gift he gave you. Not to say grow boastful, not to say grow proud, but walk with humility and courage in what he's given you, and be confident in it. Be confident in what you can do, because God stewards gifts well. So if he stewarded a gift to you, who are you to not use the gift that he gave you? Your gift is not just for you. Don't be selfish. Your gift is for those that need to hear the message specifically through you, because you don't know the crowd that you can reach that with the words that came out of your mouth specifically. I heard this morning, like, we all have different crowds. I was thinking, like, if I were to be like an entrepreneur, I have a friend who's also an entrepreneur, and I know that I would reach a different crowd than she would, because we were raised in different communities, we know different people, we have been in different environments. Same thing is with your gift. There are many prophets, there are many evangelists, there are many pastors, there are many who preach. There are many apostles, but everyone will reach a different crowd because we have a different calling to a different community. So it's never to say like, this position, or how they'll think of jobs. It's like they'll be like, oh, high retention rate is so many people. No, not high retention rate. It's like the field is so many people in that field. That doesn't matter because it can be, think of like the beauty industry, so many people in the field, but everyone has a position and everyone has an opportunity to grow in it. So when it comes to Christ, everyone has a different gift, everyone has a position to play. So don't think that just because there's other prophets, there's other evangelists, there's other people doing it, that you're not meant to do it, because you are meant to steward a certain group of people. You are meant to steward a certain faith, a certain belief, a certain intention that God has placed in you, so that you can give those to people who see something in you, who've grown to know you, who've been around you, who were raised with you, So it's like, steward your gift, because you don't know who can be led properly by just being around or having the opportunity to view you. Like, it's a beautiful thing to have even had communion with certain people, because you don't even know how you lead by just being yourself. You can lead people to school. You can lead people to church. You can lead people to good behavior. You can lead people to not curse by just being yourself, by just you walking faithfully. You can lead a ministry to Christ. You can lead a new fellowship. You can guide a new crew. You can guide a new path. Walk in the way of righteousness. But sometimes you do this by being the main example yourself. So don't grow weary in the time of unknowing. Don't grow weary in the time where it doesn't make sense, because everything has a reason and everything is set for its righteousness that God has ordained for your life. We all have a call. Walk in your call. Walk in your call. Don't be weary. Don't be scared. Grow faith. Be strong. God didn't create you, I'm going to give them this gift. I don't know if they're going to. No. I gave them this gift because I knew they would steward it well. I've told you this before. You steward your gift well, and you will be amplified. Steward your gift in the way that He has called you, and you will be able to move into the next position that He has assigned for you. God moves with orchestration. God moves in divinity. God moves in steps. But you can't get here if you haven't completed this step here. Sometimes He allows you to jump, but there's also points in periods of times where He also still has to do some pruning, some correcting, some reconstruction for you to be made fully for who He wants you to be. Just not to say that just because you have a gift and you want to walk in this way that you'll be made perfect. No. That's even unrighteous to think. We're still human. We were created in sin. So there will be times where people fall short, but that doesn't mean you go so hard on yourself, because the Lord chose you before you ever decided, oh, this is what I want to be. This is what I can become. He knew you from your mother's womb. He created you, So it's like you have to choose Him every day. Don't be so hard on yourself to the point where you feel like as though you have to convict yourself. The Lord has forgiven you way more times than you know. So don't sit there and be so hard on yourself and like pruning yourself of all the goodness that God has to give you, because you feel like you're unrighteous, because you feel like you don't deserve this, because you feel like you can't walk. When the Lord is like, if you dust yourself off, dust your feet off, I can restore something new in you. So don't keep holding on to things that I've already healed and cleansed you from. Because if you keep holding on, you can't get to where I need you to, because you're still holding on to something. I told you to let go a long time ago. I've healed you for that already. I've restored something new in you already. So now it's your time to walk. The Lord's like, I actually don't have time for you to just be sitting in fear. You are called to something new. You are called to something different. So walk. Walk and watch what I can restore in you. Watch what I can do for you. Watch what I can do for the love in your life. Watch what I can do for the finances in your life. Watch what I can do for the hope that needs to be restored in you, so that you can restore it in others. It's not just for you. It's for everyone that you're meant to steward in your life, to lead back to Him. Jesus was here to steward others, to lead them to Christ. We are all here to do the same thing. We're here to steward one another. Share your gift. Others need it. So, yes.